Okay, thank you very much to be part of Urban Stories. That's what I call the video pod.
Yeah.
So
Good title. I like it. I like the title.
Yeah. My middle name is Urban, so it's kind of Lone Rider.
Wow.
Yeah, I went into your website and I found them. It's like it's really good.
It is good. It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's strange because the connection with Lone Rider is that many years ago, when Bad Company was having one of its vacations or we weren't working, someone sent a cassette. This shows you how long ago it was. To Swan Song, Led Zeppelin's label, to the office. And we were all there. We made it a point to listen to cassettes that people sent. And I was listening to this and I thought, wow, what a great singer. Yeah. He's really good. So we're talking about 45 years ago.
Right.
So anyway, there was a letter with the contact info, and I called this guy. This guy was Steve Overman, and I did an album with this guy and his band, and they were called Wildlife.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. It wasn't, we got a record deal with Swan Song. Anyway, long story short, nothing came of it. Bad Company reformed and off we went. And Steve Overman went on to form a band called FM, and they became quite big in England and Europe. And then a few years ago, he just got in touch with me out of the blue and said, look, I'm playing with this guy, Steve Morris, great guitar player, and we got these songs. And he sent me some MP3s, and I was blown away. I thought they were wonderful. So we long story short, we did 3. This is our 3rd album together. We have a new album, which I just finished a few months ago.
Okay.
So there will be 3 in total Lone Rider albums.
But are you out playing, or is it like a project that you just record? Or
it's just a project, Alex. I mean, I've told them quite honestly, I don't want to start a new band again. I'm too old. I've done it. I've been there, done it. I mean, if they really wanted to do some shows, I would be up for that.
Okay.
But I'm certainly not forming another band. Okay. It's a shame because these guys are so talented. And I think it's a side project for Steve because he has FM. Yeah. It's a side project for me because I have my work going on. But I'm very pleased with the way these 3 albums have turned out.
Yeah.
Harmonies are wonderful. The singing is very good. Great guitar, great guitar playing. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I play guitar myself, so I really like the guitar playing. The guitar player and the bass player from Thunder.
Chris Child, very good.
I really like Thunder too. It's very much like Bad Company kind of vibe.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It
is. But do you get together and record it together, or do you?
No, I've never. The very first album, they flew me over to England. I live in New York, and we did record the first album in a studio in a little town in the Midlands of England. And then the next album, I said, look, I'm really tied up with other things. Send me, and this was an experiment, send me the stems, the audio files, and I'll play along with them in my studio in my house in New York. Yeah. And it worked really well. Yeah. I mean, I kind of missed actually playing with guys under the same roof in the same room, but it did work. And the result was the second album. And so we did the same thing a couple of months ago. They sent me 15 songs.
Right.
And so we did that. Cool. Yeah. But I like being with the same guys in the same room.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
That's what I want to ask you, what you think about, recording, because I was recording a couple of years ago with. I've been recording too with with people coming in and they're laying things down, but then we recorded the whole with the vocals and everything, and it was really, really cool.
Yeah,
to record in the same room.
Yeah,
to be in the same room. Yeah, cool. So on your website there was a clip where you're playing I Have to See So I Don't Get the All Because of You, so I don't get the so I don't get your wife Maria's evil eye on me. So All Because of You, you were playing that like a frontman. I think was that with Bad Company, Paul Rodgers?
Yeah, on the last tour.
Okay.
I was allowed, permitted to come down from behind the drums and play my little Taylor guitar with the others backing me, which is wonderful. I mean, to have Paul Rodgers singing backup harmonies,
but
that's like having Picasso paint your apartment.
But what do you think would be like a frontman? I mean,
I love it.
Yeah, it seems like you had a good time.
Yeah, I do, and the few solo shows that I do, I really do like. I like being out front. I'm a Leo, so apparently Leos are not shy. They like the spotlight. And when I did the Ringo Starr tours, that was the first time ever, or probably in 45 years, that I sang live on stage. Because I was in, before Free and Bad Company, I was in little high school bands and I sang then. But to actually, to be in Ringo Starr's all-star band, you have to play 2 or 3 songs of your own, your own bands. And so after a few shows where I really wasn't very good, my voice gave out, and then Peter Frampton gave me some vocal lessons, and I got better and better as the shows progressed. So it really started a little fire in me to sing more. And now I love singing. I mean, I love performing, and although my touring days are probably over, I still do the occasional solo show for my soul. It's certainly not for the money, but it's just something that I enjoy doing. So there you are.
Yeah, but you didn't sing backup with Bad Company or anything like that?
Only in a couple of songs, Gone, 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 Shooting Star. I did backing vocals on the album. Yeah. So when we did those songs on stage and Feel Like Making Love, I did a little bit of background vocals. Okay. Yeah.
Because I haven't seen any clip with your microphone or anything like that with the drums, but I was thinking that you're a great singer. It sounds really good. Yeah, I mean, if you're playing with Paul Rodgers, of course that's. But I think if you're like a backup singer on a Bad Company,
I think if you go to YouTube and look up Ringo Starr All-Star Band in Detroit, Cobb Hill, I believe it's called Nob Hill.
Yeah.
And there was Peter Frampton, Jack Bruce, Ringo, myself, and I Play All Right Now. And that was the first gig where like a lightning bolt hit me. Okay. And I thought, oh, I can sing. And it really is a very, very good example of when I burst through that barrier and became a singer. So, but thank you for that comment.
It sounds really good. I was thinking if you listen to your solo work, that I only have found the last one, All Because of You, on Spotify. Oh. But if you're thinking about like Melting on Madison,
Oh yeah.
compared to the you know, the Lone Rider stuff. It's
Right.
it's a big difference. But
Big
what is
Yeah.
your feeling when you're writing songs yourself? Because a lot of the songs on even on the Bad Company albums and stuff like that is a little ballad kind of songs. But is that what you like to write, or it's just
Well, that's a very good question, Alex. I think the difference with a solo album, my solo albums, is that I could pretty much do what I wanted.
yeah.
I could write, you know, my very first, I've forgotten the name of the second one. The very first one I did was Seven Rays of Hope. I did that in my basement. It was like a hobby. And, you know, you can't get that on any Apple or any of those. And there was a second one, and I've forgotten the name of it right now.
Yeah.
But that was there was a little country song. There was a little rock and roll. It was all different styles of music. Filling the Void. It's called Filling the Void, yeah. And that was good. So the difference between my solo albums, like I said, I could do what I wanted. I didn't sing much on Bad Company. I was the drummer, and the drummer with Lone Rider. I didn't sing or didn't do anything else on Lone Rider. Although on this new album, I co-wrote one of the songs, and to my mind, the best song on the album. But don't tell the others. But I'm glad you mentioned Melting on Madison.
Yeah, it's
one of the best songs I ever wrote.
yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of other songs that you've been writing. Weep No More,
Oh yeah,
Anna,
yeah.
Peace of Mind, and there's one Loving You Out Loud.
Oh yeah.
I
Wow.
really like that one.
Thank you. An old country song.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
a lot of your like on your solo albums. There's a lot of country feel to some of the
Sure.
songs too. So is that?
I love good country music, man.
Yeah.
It's simple. I think there was a quote from Merle Haggard that country music is 3 chords and the truth. And you know, I like the simplistic nature of country music. And I mean, today's country artists, especially the musicians, and being a drummer, I'm always listening for you know, drums and guitars because I play guitar. I mean, the standard of today's country artists is incredible. The singing, the guitar playing, the drumming. I mean, and then you go to the old school, like Bonnie Raitt, her musicians, who are all in their 60s, she's in her 70s. They're just wonderful, wonderful players. So, yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit same with the blues, I guess. 3 chords and the truth.
Yeah.
It's so. Have you toured with the solo projects anywhere?
I did, yeah. I mean, I did a bunch of clubs a long time ago in '06. I went over with a good friend of mine, Larry Oakes, guitarist with Foreigner. He played with Bad Company for a while. We just did a bunch of clubs all over England. It was a lot of fun. Very little money, but it's okay. I mean, I just did it for my soul. So, you know, that's me now, Alex. I don't tour as such. It's a lot of money to go out. Even with me and a guitar and a keyboard, I have to fly everywhere. They have to provide. So I'm not in that category of a very successful solo artist where I would get lots and lots of money. No, I just do it now. I do it now for fun.
Yeah. But there's a club. I think I saw it on your website too. There's a club somewhere in New York that you used to play in.
Oh, I've been in the Cutting Room is the big club in Manhattan.
Yeah,
played there quite a few times.
Yeah. Okay. On your website, there's the road recovery thing that you're involved in.
Road recovery, yes.
Yeah.
It's a little organization that helps troubled kids, teenagers, and mainly teenagers. We have older guys and women who they have substance abuse problems and sexual abuse problems, psychological problems, and we help them with music. We have a 12-step meeting, and then after the meeting, we get together and we play. And it's so far, I mean, we're coming up on 25 years. We've helped a lot of kids. We don't keep tabs on them when they leave us.
What is it?
But the success rate in terms of kids staying sober is only about 30%, sorry to say. But we give them a place that they can come and be amongst like-minded other teenagers who have the same problems, and so it's successful. But we're always looking for money. We can't get any funding from the government or the city, so we're always having fundraisers. But yeah, I'm just giving back. I've been in the program for a long time. I had my run-in with drink and drugs over the years, so I know what it's like.
But is it musicians that's coming there, or is it anyone?
Yeah, no, it can be anyone. The counselors are musicians who have, who have a lot of years of sobriety, and there's about a half a dozen, and they're all musicians, and we help these kids.
Yeah, I was thinking about you've been in the music business for a long time, so I was thinking about how you see it today compared to what it was when you started out, kind of, it feels like you have to have a hit songs right away, kind of.
It's kind of how can I put it? Well, the internet has really changed. Internet / computers have really changed everything. And not for the better, I don't think. But then I'm an old guy, and I like where I came from. All right, the decade from 1964 to 74, musically, I think was the most innovative. It threw up so many groups, beginning with the Beatles and the Stones. But if you were to look at that 10-year period and what happened musically, and not just in rock, but in country and blues, and the whole mishmash of music was so vibrant and alive, and then disco and punk came in and kind of cut the throat a little bit of rock and roll, and it changed, and then it became, and then drum machines took over, and then drum machines were a very primitive form of computer. They put a lot of drummers out of work, I can tell you. And then you get more sophisticated into what we now know. You're a recording guy, so I assume you have the DAW, whether it's Pro Tools or Pro Logic, So now, and with GarageBand, we can make a song and show it to someone in Australia in less than 60 seconds. That blows my mind, Alex, that you can do that. So in one aspect, the world is your own audience. But on the other side, I don't know, it's kind of impersonal. You and me can play together. You're in Sweden, I'm in New York. But there's no, understand. It's a little impersonal. That being said, there's still very good musicians out there. There's still very good artists. I mean, for all her popularity, Taylor Swift, she writes very, very good songs. She's a very good performer. Lady Gaga, a very good performer. She writes great songs. Adele, they're still clinging on to the old albums, 12-inch albums, not downloads. So there's still a lot of hope for music out there. And it's just the whole landscape has changed a lot, and I'm not sure if I like it or not. But there you go.
And one thing that I don't kind of, I like album covers, and you bought an album and you put it on the vinyl, and you looked at the cover, and looked at everything on it. But people today won't have any album covers. I have all my album covers and CDs, and I can look at them, but 20 years from now, I don't think they have any phones, to look at the old album covers. And
So,
yeah.
well, the whole thing about album covers was you sort of examined it while you were listening to. You saw who played what, where it was recorded, exactly. The liner notes.
Yeah.
Some guy from the magazine would write, and then if it was a gatefold, you'd open it up. Oh my God!
Yeah.
It was a real important part of the disc itself. And now, you just tap on Apple Music, say download whatever the artist is. In 20 seconds, it's on your phone.
Yeah.
And it's a shame.
Yeah.
It's like, it's disposable.
Yeah.
Music has become more disposable.
Yeah.
To when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's a shame.
Going back to album covers, one of my reasons why I like photography too. And one of the things that started me as a photographer was the album covers from Hypnosis. And Bad Company's album covers, except for one, was done by Hypnosis.
Oh, yeah.
And really great covers.
They were great. I love those two guys.
Oh, Straight Shooter I just love it. It's a really good cover.
Well, they were, when we were signed to Led Zeppelin, their album, their label, Swanson, and we were putting the first album together. Yeah. And Peter Grant said, we have to use these guys, Aubrey Powell and Storm Thorgerson.
Yeah.
I believe was Swedish or Norwegian heritage.
Yeah,
Norwegian,
yeah.
Okay. And we met them, and they were like, they had a big joint. We had sat around, we all smoked a joint, and they showed us all these ideas, and we were knocked out. They were amazing. They were so, and then obviously they showed us their work, and it was primarily Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, and it was amazing. The Pink Floyd with the mirrors that go smaller and smaller and smaller, and then obviously the Led Zeppelin, the crashing of the Hindenburg. They were like so radical, outrageous. It was like, wow. So they came up with the idea of Bad Company. If you look at Bad Co., look very closely, you'll see it's the imprint of a palm, a hand palm.
Okay.
You'll see the lines. And this was like, hey, man, that's bad. That's bad. Give me 5. It was kind of skin on skin.
Okay.
It was kind of subtle. And then they were clever, because they said, no, if you had Bad Company, it's going to have to be smaller writing. It won't stand out in the rack. If you have Bad Co., we can make it black on white and big letters. And at first I wasn't happy with that. It was Bad Company.
Yeah.
Here we are 15 million albums later. They must have, and it became our official logo.
Yeah.
So, but they were great. I loved them. They were a marvelous pair of guys. Yeah.
How come that one of the albums, Running with the Pack, I think that was Kosh, or how do you someone else who made that album cover.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, and I don't know why. They were busy with The Wish You Were Here, setting people on fire. I don't know why we didn't use them, but no, we did.
Okay. Do you do something else creatively? I mean, do you paint or?
Not really.
No.
No, I don't. I mean, I love reading and I love writing, and I've written a book about my life. I doubt that it will be in my lifetime. It'll be published because I had quite a rock and roll lifestyle, Alex. A lot of women, a lot of drugs, a lot of naughty stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I wouldn't. I've sent it to a couple of my friends who are in the literary world.
Yeah.
And one guy said it's the best rock and roll diary he's ever read.
Okay.
It is good. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
But no, my hobbies are playing guitar, playing golf, playing my piano, and I'm an old fuddy-duddy now. I don't get out as much as I used to. And movies. I love watching movies. Yeah. I could happily sit in front of Netflix and Showtime and HBO and never leave the house. There's some amazing things on streaming services now, but that's another story for another time.
I was thinking about you talked about before when you recorded your first album, you did it in Headley Grange, or
yeah.
Yes. So I don't know if that was a famous building because it got famous when Zeppelin recorded there. But you as a drummer, how did you put up your kit in the same spot?
No, as Bonzo. Well, the story behind Headley Grange was this very old big manor house in Sussex, just outside London. And Zeppelin, I believe, had recorded there before, and they were doing, might have been Zeppelin 4.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure of the running order, the chronological order of their albums. But anyway, they were there. They had all their gear set up. And then John Paul Jones got the flu, and they had to leave the place. And Peter Grant, our manager, called us up and said, hey, you can have this. He didn't give it to us for nothing, though. It cost us £800.
Okay.
800 quid. So, look, you can have it for a week, maybe 10 days. John Paul Jones is not very well. So we went down there, yes. We had all the songs, all the arrangements. And when we got there, I saw Bonzo's kit, John Bonham's kit, up in the main hall. Where he got that huge drum sound, and Jimmy Page's amps. Zeppelin's gear was scattered throughout the house, so obviously we didn't touch anything. I put my drums down in the basement, and because we were all in different rooms, the separation was very, very good. There was no bleeding over of one instrument to another, and because we had rehearsed these songs for months and months. Everything was done very quickly. We did the whole album in less than a week.
Wow.
I loved Headley Grange. It was, you could get up whenever you wanted. We had a mobile recording studio out on the lawn. It was a wonderful way to make an album. I loved it.
Yeah, it's a really cool place. I've seen footage of from Headley Grange there.
Oh, okay.
Your drums. I don't play drums, but I've seen that your drum kit. It seems like it was the same drum kit from when you started till now. Kind of. It's one tom and on the hanging. You haven't tried any
tom and the floor tom. Yeah. I've only used, quite honestly, Alex. I've only used. I think I use a four drum kit. That's 90% of my career has been on 4 drums. I had 2 hanging toms at one time in free. Okay. I believe I had 2 floor toms for a time in Bad Company. But as I said, 90% just been 4 drums. That's my style. Ringo was a big influence. Al Jackson, who I mentioned before, was a big influence. Just a 4-piece kit, and it suited my purpose.
Yeah. It's cool. It looks cool. I mean, look at Charlie Watts or something like that. It's the same.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. Another question. That's kind of a. I saw Sensational Alex Harvey band in '76.
Yeah.
Did you ever cross path with them? It's one of my.
I don't think so. I mean, look, back in the days when Free and in the early days of Bad Company, bands were going up and down England and across, and we might have, but no, we never played with them. But Les Harvey was Alex's brother, and Les Harvey tragically was electrocuted on stage. He was the boyfriend of Maggie Bell, wonderful Scottish lady singer who was signed to Swan Song. So there was a little 6 degrees of separation there, but no, I never actually met Alex Harvey.
Okay. That's one of my favorite bands too.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to play somewhere that you haven't been playing before, but you haven't been playing very much in Sweden, I guess. I think you played in 2012 at the Sweden Rock Festival.
Yeah.
But but the original band never played in Sweden, I think.
No. I think we might have done in the early, I know Bad Company did maybe in the first year of its existence. I remember going to, I remember maybe, we played it, no, that was in Free, we played in Luleå. My God, that was so far north. I think you're right. I think maybe Bad Company never played in Sweden.
I don't think so. I haven't found any.
I might be wrong, but I think you're right. Yeah.
So you're welcome to play here if you.
Oh, I'd love to. I would love to know.
I have an album, Fire and Water, with Free. And on the All Right Now song, it said the long version.
Right.
Are there a short version somewhere?
Yeah. Well, when we first played it, we enjoyed playing the song so much that it came in, I believe, at around 5 minutes and 55, just short of 6 minutes. So when we played it to our manager, he said it's a hit. I mean, we all knew All Right Now was kind of special, but he said it's too long for radio. There's no way they're going to play a 6-minute song on AM radio. So we cut out, probably nearly 2 minutes. Okay. Even then it was a little long, but we managed to get BBC to play it. But so the album version is the original version from beginning to end. The single version is one with an edit.
Okay, it's a short version. Okay. Yeah. We were talking about the production. I like a good production, and I think the Bad Companies from the '70s are still, like ABBA, still, feels good today. But in my opinion, I think the '80s production was kind of with the drums, especially you had going through process stuff. And what do you think about, because the albums that you did in the '80s was with that producer Terry Thomas?
Terry Thomas. All right, so what is a producer? A producer is a middleman between the band and, let's say, the management / public, and really a producer is a catalyst, a catalytic converter, if you will. And although, Bad Company always produced their own, we're the ones who wrote the song, we're the one who arranged the song, we're the ones who performed the song. So to my mind, that is a producer, even though we had production credits for Ron Nevison. We never really looked on him as a producer. So you come into the 80s and 90s, and the whole soundscape has kind of changed, and not for the better, I don't think. Snare drummers were now these enormous backbeats, a lot of reverb on everything. It was a different way. We became for a moment a bit of a hair band, if the truth be known, We were just trying to change. We had Paul Rodgers had left. We got a new singer. We kind of changed musical direction. So, and then Terry Thomas was this guitar player who worked with Brian Howe, the new singer, and kind of took over production. And we kind of happy to let him do it because, well, number one, I was getting involved in drink and drugs. I just wanted to play the songs and then go home. I wasn't really involved, with the new version of Bad Company. But producers, you have to be pretty damn good in my book to be labeled a producer. You have to bring something to the table that the band cannot collectively supply. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And he was involved in the songwriting too. I think he did a lot of songwriting on those albums. But when you came back to the Company of Strangers, when that was a new singer, and I think that's when you, Robert Hart.
That was a return to the classic Bad Company, and we Robert Hart was much more in the genre of Paul Rodgers, and we ditched all the effects, we ditched all the reverb and the delay, and just got back to a more down to earth sound. I love Company of Strangers. I thought there were some great songs.
It's a really good album. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. Not many interviewers bring that album up, but it was, and there was a song, Little Martha, which had Michael Kamen, who's a very good friend of mine, sadly passed away way too soon, and he did the string arrangements. So I love Company Strangers. I have it on my travel playlist.
It's a really good album, and I think I haven't been listening very much to the 80s albums that you did because I don't know. One of my favorites is Eric Clapton, and his 80s albums, I can't listen to them because, Phil Collins produced them, and it was the same drum, processed drums, but Company of Strangers and the song Company of Strangers it's a great song too.
I think in any long career, you're gonna have these dips. It's just normal. But Eric Clapton for a while used a drum machine. On Journeyman. I mean, it was like, wow, man, you've got the Rolodex of the greatest musicians in the world, and you're using a fucking drum machine. I was blown away by that. He still played great. But you can't get that rapport from a drum machine you get from some guy like Steve Gadd or Phil. Phil's a great drummer. You look at him and you're playing, it spurs you on to a greater performance, But there you go.
There was one other songs, if you have a little more time. 100 Miles.
Oh, wow. That was actually when we all got together to do the first album with Brian Howe. Mick Ralphs, who wrote a lot of songs with Paul Rodgers in the original lineup. Once Paul had left, it kind of left Mick floundering. He wasn't producing the song. So the main songwriting went over to Terry Thomas and Brian Howe. And I'd been watching a video a few months before with a good friend of mine, Ronnie Wood. And we were looking at this video of Bob Dylan, and he had all these big square pieces of cardboard. He would, as the song progressed, he would throw away. You probably know it. And it gave me this idea of different ideas, different compliments, if you wish, about my girlfriend. Hey, little baby, I love you so. I'd walk 100 miles to let you know. Let me kiss your lips and feel. And it was one of those songs that you know, it kind of wrote itself. So when Terry Thomas said, "Hey, Simon, have you got any songs?" I said, "Yeah, I got this," because I was not really that confident in my songwriting, and I played it to the guys, and he said, "You know, this is the best song that you and Mick." I said, "Well, it wasn't Mick, it was me." He said, "But it's the best song that you've got." And I was like, "Wow, really?"
Cool.
And compared with the other heavy,
Yeah,
it was kind of a nice, and I had suggested an accordion, and it was just, it's a cute song.
yeah. And you're doing the vocals on it too.
Yeah, yeah. He said, "Well, you've got to sing it." I said, "Good, because I don't want Brian Hayes singing it."
Okay. And you're playing guitar, I guess.
Yeah, I play guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're happy, I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if there's anything else, like maybe writing,
Yeah.
you think, oh, let me know, and I'll drop you a line. But I think we covered a lot of ground, and I appreciate. I always say that an interview is as good as its questions,
Yeah.
and you came up with some great questions, Alex.
Oh, thank you very much. It's you know, when you listen to albums like you know, you've been listening to Free and Bad Company, and on all those years you kind of get, oh, I wonder why, you know, why they did that, and I wonder why. So now when you had a chance to talk to someone who's really in a band, you know, it's kind of wow, that's cool. So it's a lot of my own curiosity on your career, kind of.
Well, your curiosity, I think, got you a very good interview.
Thank you very much.
Maybe we'll do it again down the road.
Yeah, absolutely, that'll be fun. So,
oh, by the way, before I go, you know, I just wanted to say that I am writing a rock musical
all right,
about addiction. Yeah, with a couple of other guys. We've written all the songs. The script is done, and it's called Rock Bottom.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be a big success because the songs are very good. As I said, it's something that I personally have experience with, and unfortunately, drug addiction is still sweeping the world.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it would be really cool if you could get the book out somewhere also. It would be nice to read a book.
My book?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're old enough to read it, Alex.
Oh man, I'm 62.
Oh, you look good.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
That's 12 years.
So I think I am old enough to read it, I think.
I think you can handle it.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, man.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
God bless.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.